Good day to all viewers around the world. Thank you for following Minembwe Capital News. Today, we bring you major developments concerning the security situation in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. Following the recent fighting in Minembwe, new reports continue to emerge regarding troops movements and their impacts on the conflict on local communities. We also bring you a political story featuring Senator Salomon, who has warned that any attempt to amend the Constitution of the Democratic Republic of Congo would expose the country to serious political and security challenges. Me, His Mugwaneza Mercy. I will come to today's headlines. Following the recent fighting in Minembwe, residents of Bibogobogo say they remain deeply concerned about the security situation as reports of troops movement continue to emerge. The second, Senator Salomon Karonda has warned the constitution amendments in the Democratic Republic of Congo could destabilize the country and undermine democratic institutions. As we go to the detailed news, we begin with the South Kivu provinces. Residents of Bibogobogo near the town of Baraka in Fizi territory say they remain concerned about the security situation in the following the recent fighting in Minembwe and its surrounding areas. According to the information gathered by Minembwe Capital News from local sources, following the clashes, members of the FARDC Burundian forces, Wazalendo fighters and FDLR elements reportedly withdrew towards the Baraka and Bibogobogo areas. The local sources also report that temporary camps have been established in several locations, including Mugipimo, Gashenyi, the Jiafi plantation area, and Matunda. These sites are said to be hosting a significant number of soldiers and fighters who retreated from the front lines. However, Minembwe Capital News has not been able to independently verify the exact number of personnel or the conditions with these camps. Residents say they fear that fighting could resume at any time, particularly as conflicting account continues to emerge from the parties involved in the conflict. On the analysis of this story, military movements following armed confrontations often indicate that opposing forces are regrouping or repositioning. Although information provided by the local residents is variable, independent verification remains essential, especially as insecurity continues to make access to these areas extremely difficult. What remains clear is that civilians continue to bear the greatest burden of the conflict, including displacements, fear, and uncertainty about returning to their daily activities. On the second point, turning to politics, Senator Salomon Kalonda has stated that any attempt to amend the Constitution of the Democratic Republic of Congo could trigger serious political instabilities and weaken the democratic governance. Karonda made these remarks during a conference in Ethiopia focusing on security, elections, and democracy in Africa. He emphasized the importance of respecting constitution principles and safeguarding democratic institutions in order to promote lasting peace across the continent. He also expressed concern over issues related to the management of electoral commissions, political freedoms, and the role of international partners in supporting the democratic processes. For its part, the Congress government maintains that it has no intentions of amending the constitution to extend Presidential Felix Tshisekedi term in office. On this story, Senator Karonda remarks come at a time when political development in Democratic Republic of Congo continue to generate widespread debates. Many political analysts believe that political dialogue, respect for the rule of law, and the protection of democratic institutions will play a decisive role in shaping the country's future. Meanwhile, the Congress government continues to reject criticism of its opponent, maintaining that its policies are intended to strengthen the government and promote national development. On the third story, during this week, visit by AFC stroke M23 leaders to Minembwe, the Moise Nyarugabo, a former minister of senator and senator of the Democratic Republic of Congo, urged the Banyamulenge community to reject what he described as misleading teaching promoted by individuals accused of acting against the interest of their own community. In his speech, Nyarugabo referred to biblical examples, encouraging residents to remain committed to truth and reject messages that could create division within the community. He further stated that anyone found responsible for acting harmed civilians or damaged their property should be held accountable, emphasizing the importance of combating impunity. His remarks come at Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo continues to face persistent security challenges and ongoing debates over prospects for achieving the lasting peace. On this story, during periods of conflicts, statements made by political and community leaders often have significant influence onto the public opinion. However, analysts also emphasize that public message should encourage reconciliation, reduce tension, and promote dialogue in order to rebuild public confidence and contribute to a sustainable peace. On the fourth point, President Felix Tshisekedi wife, who is President Felix Antoine Tshisekedi Chilombo, has ordered the immediate suspension of all illegal activities involving members of the armed forces and police within mining sites across the Democratic Republic of Congo. The directive was issued during a meeting of the Council of Ministers where the President instructed security and administrative authorities to take urgent measures to eliminate practices that undermine the country's mining sector. According to the government, the objectives is to restore state authority over natural resources, combat corruption, protect local communities, and strengthen investor confidences. This mining sector remains one of the pillars of the Congolese economy. Effective oversight could increase government revenue while reducing corruption and security challenges frequently associated with mining operations. Nevertheless, analysts argue that the success of these reforms will ultimately depend on effective implementation and the government's willingness to enforce the law consistently. With the fifth story, General Charles Sematama, Commander-in-Chief of MRDP Twirwaneho and the Deputy Leader of the movement, praised the recent visit by AFC M23 and MRDP Twirwaneho leaders to Minembwe, describing it as an effort to engage directly with the local communities and restore hope after years of insecurity. In his address, General Sematama commended the people of Minembwe for their resilience throughout the conflict and stated the efforts to protect civilians remain ongoing. He added that the visit happened reassured residents that they had not been forgotten despite the prolonged crisis affecting the region. Meanwhile, AFC-M23 and MRDP Twirwaneho state that they have gained control of several areas following recent fighting. As is often the case during armed conflict, however, opposing parties continue to present conflicting accounts regarding territorial control and the movement of the battlefield. On analysis on this, during a time of conflict, visit by political and military leaders can help reassure affected communities. At the same time, analysts note that sustainable peace cannot be achieved through military success alone. It also requires political dialogue, reconciliation, confidence building, and meaningful protection onto the civilians. On the sixth point, in address to residents of Minembwe, AFC Deputy Coordinator Bertrand Bisimwa stated that the conflict that had affected the area has come to an end and assured residents that the attacks referred too would resume. Bisimwa said he was delivering a message not only on his behalf but also on the behalf of AFC/M23 coordinator Colonel Nanga and AFC/M23 military commander General Sultan Makenga. He encountered residents to remain hopeful and confident that the situation would continue to improve. His remarks followed statements by AFC/M23 Deputy Rwaneho claiming advances in several areas, including Minembwe, Mikenke, Ritsankuku, Point Zero, and parts of Fizi and Mwenga territories. However, conflicting reports continue to emerge from opposing parties, and Minembwe Capital News remains committed to verify information from all available sources before reporting it to the public. Overall analysis, looking at today's developments, 4 keys, observing the standout. First, the security situation in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo remains highly volatile despite claims of progress or stability from different parties. Secondly, political debate continues over constitutional issues, governance, and the future of democracy within the country. On the third, the government continues to introduce measures aimed at improving the management of natural resources and combating illegal activities within the mining sector of the country. Finally, civilians living in conflict-affected areas continue to express the same aspiration: lasting peace, improved security, and a future free from fear. Minembwe Capital News will continue to monitor this development and provide accurate, balanced, and professional reportings. It was Mugoneza Mercy. So as we continue today, thank you very much for watching. If you value our reports, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel as you never miss our latest news in-depth analysis. Goodbye. Have peace.